Can you see? It's so blue. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since it's been that blue. Now I can see right in the edges there are kind of like some white mist forming around. I do worry about that because it looks like mist, but it's not. It's clouds. It's gonna mess up everything. Now if you just put your hand outside, it's pretty hot. So at least the heat is still here. Summer heat. Okay, let me just put on my jacket. Hold on, just a minute. Okay. Now, I do wear the same jacket every single day until I need to wash it uh, because my jackets are pretty clean compared to the rest of my clothes, so it stays clean for a week or so. Okay. Oh, all right then. Hold on. Let me just set this up. You know, sometimes I'm not even ready for a live stream. Okay. So, good morning. Good morning. It is, um, wow, it is 9:05. Pretty early for a live stream, but honestly, I've been just so tired. Okay? So tired. All I did yesterday was play games. That's all I did. And so far, no new news about my laptop. So, it is a bit disappointing. Why am I up 2 a.m.? Oh, so it's 2 a.m. for y'all. Wow. For us, it's so uh it's so early. Well, not really super early. 9 a.m. is not super early, but technically I'm living in the future. Oh, okay. Sometimes, uh, sometimes, um, sometimes babies like to also sleep very late. I have a little niece and she sleeps at random times. So, yeah, she sometimes sleeps around like 2 o'clock in the morning. Um, so, yeah. And when my sister stayed over here, I was actually making the powdered milk for my niece. It was an interesting thing to do. I just hit my phone. Well, seeing you live, so popped up and say hello again. Well, thanks for popping up. Um, anyways, yeah, making milk in a bottle was an interesting experience for me because all my life I've always drank breast milk. So I'll watch you again later, I promise. Okay, thank you. Um, so when I made bottle milk, um, just on my own for the first time, it was pretty, pretty insane because I had no idea the entire process of it. It was pretty simple, but I had no idea, um, yet to do it like that. Um, so, anyways, it is Wednesday. I thought today was Thursday or something. It feels like Thursday, possibly. I think so. But no, it's Wednesday. Wait, is it Wednesday? I need to check. Yep, it's Wednesday. Today is January 5th. And oh my gosh, tomorrow is gonna be a big day for everyone. Everyone's gonna be talking about a certain day that happened last year. Everyone's gonna be talking about that. Everyone's gonna be, you know, just giving all their stale opinions online. And it's not going to be a pleasant thing to be on the internet tomorrow, you know, because I'm going to be seeing so much of articles pop up about last year, you know, and it's really insane that I predicted this. Like last year when it happened, I was like, okay, next year they're going to hit even harder with this. And of course, baby is Brody. Oh, okay. So that's an interesting name. Great. This doesn't work as well. Oh my gosh. I have so much technology that doesn't really do what it's supposed to do. But anyways, I'm glad at least it's Wednesday. No new orders or anything like that, so maybe tomorrow I might get my laptop. Hopefully I get my laptop tomorrow. Or else I have to phone them. I have to phone the company or email them. I think phoning is a bit more better because you reach them on the dot. But then again, to be honest, you need to have like so much of airtime just to wait for a call, just to wait for a call back. It's not the best thing, you know. So I think emails win, but then they take so long to respond to that as well. Um, but at least I don't have to be waiting on the other end. I can just send an email and come back a couple of hours and check on it. So, anyways, if I don't get the laptop, I have no choice but to complain. I have no choice but to complain to the manager, you know? I have no choice but to be a Karen and complain to the manager. Because even though it's not that expensive, it's still something I want, you know? And after experiencing what people can do last year, they can mix up items, and even if you call them, they can put the phone down, you know? And honestly, I do have bad feelings about what could happen, you know? But hopefully tomorrow, one more chance, or else I have to phone or email them. I have to make sure I get whatever I have, okay? And this is also for the future as well. I have to make sure that there's no more problems, you know? Because where I bought from is a brand new place. I never bought online before. I bought on the store before, in the physical store, but buying online from that same store is a bit strange for me since it's the first time. But if this is a successful delivery, I would buy from there in the future. I don't really see anything to buy from, but if I see something in the future that's in the store, I would buy from it. But if the delivery service is terrible, poor, or just altogether, they just so incompetent, I have no choice but to just completely, obviously. Uh, I'm not really someone who wants to do stuff like that, but the point is that you can barely find any reviews of the delivery service of the company that I bought from. So you do wonder, like, how do they do all together? Like I've only saw one review altogether, and that was just someone complaining about one bad service. Now I need to look at all the reviews altogether, good and bad, to understand what they're actually about. So if they mess up this order, something happens, then hey, I have to write a review telling others to be careful, because you can barely find anyone else's experience about this specific company. And even if they do a good job, I will obviously write a review saying it's a long wait, but I got it. There was no issues whatsoever. But if there is an issue, I'll have to write a one-star review. I'm just really looking forward to that laptop, okay? Um, because so much will change. Not just the live streams, but I can actually do work. And as I think about doing work, I keep changing some of my own concepts and my own original ideas. I keep changing it because for some reason, some of my own original ideas is not that original for some reason. So I keep changing it over and over, you know? And the more I change it, the more I make it complicated, and that's a problem. So if I just write a beginning, middle, and end story, it's totally fine. But what if someone has a similar concept to mine? And this happened many times. People will have the very similar concept, and I will be very disappointed. I have to change everything, or else people will think I copied. Even though I did not copy, people will think that. So you got to change stuff, and I changed so much of storylines, plot lines, everything, and still it's not enough. I had to keep breaking story parts and reworking with them. It feels so annoying, to be honest, because I feel like I'm almost done with everything, but then all of a sudden I realize there's more work to be done, you know? Um, okay, I know this is just a line, just a simple line, but basically one of my one of my original concepts, it takes place somewhere in the present, okay? So the past, obviously when there's flashbacks of the past, like 100 years ago or so, it's going to take place with a different character. And that different character also has a child, and then that child goes through their own their own their own story, and then that child has that child. It's like a full family connection. That's what I wanted to tell the story about. Even though the present's about one character and his journey, but in the past it's about the other characters and their journey, and how it builds up to where the present is situated. Now, the present is situated like with all the rules and how everything, like the landscape and everything, how it came to be. It's all about the past. So in order to understand the present, you have to understand the past. But then when it comes to the past, there's a couple of things I have to keep changing because I don't want it to feel like it's very similar to a different show or a different comic or whatever. So I have to make sure it's very original. So that's very important. So last night I was just rethinking about what I need to do in order to make it very original. I don't want, I also don't want my main character to be a character that's basically the chosen one. There's nothing wrong with chosen one storylines, but it's just that it's been overused for the past couple of decades now. Oh, this is a chosen one. That's a chosen one. And that's the thing about writing stories is that there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that sometimes I want to write a character. I want to write a character that doesn't have any profit. Is not a prophet. Or is not any type of like anyone said this character is gonna come and do the best stuff. No one predicted this character basically. I don't want that. I know certain shows that and I was very disappointed in that. Like Naruto. I love Naruto. It's a very good anime. But obviously, if you read the manga, there's no filler, so you're gonna get a better experience than watching the anime. But anyways, what happened with Naruto at the end of its series, Naruto Shippuden, at the end of its series was they made Naruto this chosen god type thing. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because in the previous series, Naruto was always about, putting in the hard work, putting in the effort. No matter where you come from, you can do it, you can change this or that. It's all about, believing in yourself. And it turned from that to to oh, this was destined to happen. And it was so annoying. It was so annoying. Like God, all of a sudden becomes this chosen one character, and I felt so annoyed by it. I understand maybe the creator wanted to tell a bigger storyline, but why does it have to do with the chosen one stuff? It just felt so annoying. Naruto before the chosen one nonsense felt much better. Yes, he had a power in him, but at the same time, because he had that power, he was discriminated against. You know, he had to work much harder to gain recognition compared to the other ninja in the village. So it was pretty interesting to see him just fight, become become a hero, you know? And then all of a sudden we gotta take that at the end and just throw it away. Throw it away for the chosen one type. And for what? Okay, now he's the Okage in Boruto. Okay, but what? It became a boring character after that, you know? I just found it so annoying that he went from believing it to so messed up, really. And I don't want to do that. I know Naruto was a show that inspired me to make my own original concept, but still, I do I do wish Naruto was a bit better when it comes to its ending. I love the characters. I love the video games. You know, just yesterday I bought a Naruto game because it was going on sale. But I'm just saying, like, honestly, I wish the story was a bit better. I really wish the story was a bit better with its ending. And honestly, most of the parts felt really interesting. It's just that when they decided to go full chosen one nonsense, and every time you hear about the chosen one, there's chosen one that I don't want to know about that stuff anymore, you know? Because it really does, you know, make Naruto feel like a worthless character. Well, that was just a little rant, and I'm just saying, even though my main character has a lot of interesting abilities and powers, he still has to work with that powers and try to control it. He still has to learn how to do certain abilities, you know, and he's still type at all. He's not the chosen one type at all. Um, so basically, yeah, you know, his main, uh, what do you call it? His main goal is to find something that someone told him to find, basically, you know, he wasn't destined himself to find it. He was just told, hey, you know what, you and your siblings should also look for this. And that's what's gonna happen, you know. It's not just gonna be about the main character as well, but it's gonna be about his relationships with other people and you know how the rest of the world works and whatever, you know. I don't want him to feel like he was chosen to do this or that. You know, some of the arcs I've written down for this concept. There are some times where he just barges in. He just barges in because he really cares for other people. He doesn't do it because he's a chosen one or what, because he's not a chosen one. He does it because he wants to help people. He is caring, you know. He's caring, and he's uh, a bit, I would say, like just run head first into battle, no preparations whatsoever, you know. So yeah, um, and he cares about others as well. So obviously enough, that's part of his character, you know, caring and feeling like he has to do some of these things to help others. No one entrusted him to do that. It just feels like he should do it. He feels like that's the right thing to do. Just when my main character comes in, you know, he is obviously going to not really be the chosen one. You know, yes, he is entrusted with a task, but not only him. His siblings are also entrusted with that same task, you know. So when when they are finding certain things about a certain thing, let's call it a MacGuffin because people always call it a MacGuffin. I'm not going to say the original concept. I don't want to spoil anything, but the MacGuffin basically uh, has to be found by him and his siblings. Now it's entrusted by his mother, but at the same time, you know, all of them are entrusted to find that specific thing. All of them are entrusted to do that, compared to compared to other shows and other stuff that's existing. You barely find that, you know. I don't want my character to become this chosen one thing. It wasn't chosen by destiny to 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 find this MacGuffin. He was basically uh, he was basically told to do it. It was like, okay, you got to do this, and that's it. You got to do this, and that's it. You're gonna try and do it, and you're gonna see the struggles of them trying to find this MacGuffin. You know, it is gonna be a tedious task. Obviously enough, as it is, they were just entrusted to find it, but that's it. You know, that's it. That's just it. They had nothing else to do, like after they find it, nothing else to do with that. So, you know, I'm just saying, like, story, but I don't really want to make my character the chosen one type. I should try to make sure he's not the chosen one because I don't like that idea of the chosen one, you know? I don't like it. I really don't. Because it really destroys the story. Now, the main character himself, he is not, he's not a character that everyone suspects that he'll do the best of the best. No, it's not. He starts off very gain a bit of strength. You know, there will be a lot of hills that he has to go over. He has to learn new things and sometimes relearn them. You know, so I don't want it to be just about the chosen one or whatever. I'll do something else. You know, because it's best to have a character that's not really a chosen one. You know. All right. Uh, it's been so long since actually got a good bottle. Like I got this bottle back in last month. So all this time I kept have to drink on a plastic bottle from a juice. Like we'd drink juice and then we would wash the bottle and we would use it for a couple of weeks until it gets completely busted up. Or I used to drink from a mug. I'm not a big fan of drinking water from a mug because I know I drink tea. Okay, that's different. Just drinking regular water out of a mug feels very different. For me, at least. I'm very used to drinking out of a bottle uh, for years now, you know? It carries a lot more water, so if I'm in my room for a couple of hours, that's totally fine. I can have more water than ever before, you know? Anyways, I just wanted to explain that, you know? Because I really don't want my character to be this chosen one. I'll say it and I'll say it again. I don't want my character to become the chosen type of character. I'd rather have him work hard to help others, and that's it, you know? And him and his siblings finding the MacGuffin or looking for the MacGuffin. Originally, they weren't really told dude, like there was no plan on finding that in the first place. It just so happened with the circumstances that they end up have to find it. You know, it wasn't destined for them to find it or whatever. It was entrusted upon them, but it wasn't really a destined thing. You know, I'm just saying like the reason why they had to find the MacGuffin is because of a recent incident, not a past stuff. You know, I mean it is something for. Well, I can't say what the MacGuffin is, but what's it for? I can't say. What I can actually say is obviously, um, it is pretty powerful, but at the same time, these these children, some of them are teens, some of them are a bit like young adults, but they can't really use the MacGuffin themselves. It's very difficult for them to use the MacGuffin. So basically, they weren't really chosen to find it. They were just told to find it. You know, am I making sense? Because it got lost in recent years, so they had no choice but to find it. But they still don't really know how to use it when they find it. You know, I have to be very subtle with this. You know, but I had to change the first part of the timeline. I have to keep changing it. Well, not the first part, the middle part. You know, basically, the main character, the main character's timeline. Let me make it a bit darker so everyone can see. But the main character's timeline is obviously, uh, as I said, you have to look at the past as well to notice and understand why are there different things in the present. You know, you need to look at the past to understand that, to understand how humans have issues and whatever. You know, so basically, this is a very simple timeline. When you're talking about the main character, there will be certain panels or certain comics where from the same series, yes, will focus on the past of both characters. So basically, you get you get you get okay. How do I explain it without really spoiling anything? The main character, his father, and his grandmother. So basically, these two characters, they do have a lot of interesting storylines that push through certain aspects, certain major plot points. However, there's also characters in between certain timelines that also have a lot of big moments. If you follow the simple timeline, you know, because every timeline there's one main character, and the main character for this timeline are all related. So, yeah. And honestly, I really hope I don't spoil too much. Now, I have to make it in a comic form. I wanted to make it in a visual novel, but the problem with that was I want to do other stuff with visual novels instead, and I won't have time to make this into a visual novel. A lot of coding or whatever, so it will take a bit more time. But this turning it into a comic book will be fun. So three timelines, and obviously enough, certain times you'll get panels from the past, but it won't really be in order. So it won't really be in order, you know. Sometimes you can get certain parts of the timeline around, you know, and there will be specific dates, so the reader can piece them out as they read issue after issue. They get to understand what happened, what went, uh, what went down in the past, and whatever. That's the only clue for them is a specific date. Is the date that will be written in right in the corner, right in the left-hand corner. A date will be written. That's basically it, and they can just piece it together. Because I'm gonna be very random with piecing the parts of the past in the comics. You know, gonna piece it in different aspects and different parts of the comics. See what happens. Let's just see if people can piece it together. The past does much more law than the present because there's so much of things went down. But honestly, I feel like a lot of readers will be very happy to like my work. Hopefully, I can just fix it up quickly as possible before I start to release it because I really want to release it this year. So it'll have to be in a comic book. At first, it will be digital, and if it's going to be physical, it is not going to be in a hardcover book or whatever. It is going to be in a magazine style comic book. Reason why is because the story is so long. I have to be releasing a comic book every couple of days to tell the story. And obviously enough, I want it to be cheap as well. So the magazine style of comic books will be much better, much more cheaper. So yeah. Anyways, have a good day. I'm pretty happy that today is a bright blue day. Let me show you the skies one more time. Yeah, it looks very beautiful. You barely see stuff like that. Anyways, I have to go. Have a good day. It's so early. It's like 9:30. That's pretty strange. Have a good day. Bye.